It's the Luke and Pete Show with me, Pete Donaldson, and Mr. Makes Exceedingly Good Cakes, Moa. How are you doing?
That's me. I'm all right, thanks. I've got a little username on my login, which is Mr. Kipling, because we were talking about Mr. Kipling on the Ramble this last week, so I thought I'd lean into it.
Any particular favourite Mr. Kipling? I like his French Fancies, which is so euphemistically kind of... You just know for a fact that nobody is thinking they're in any way fancy by way of calling themselves French Fancies.
I reckon when they first were launched, they were probably seen as quite fancy and quite continental.
Like a chicken
quite
Kiev.
Ooh la la. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just too generic French.
Yeah, popular
fancies.
culture has overtaken them now.
Yeah, you may as well just call them European pissabouts. European twattery. You know what I mean? French fancies. It's too generic. It doesn't describe what it actually is.
Nah, it's not that French. Speaking of continental Europe, though, you're fresh off the plane, aren't you?
I'm continental strength. Yeah, I woke up in Barcelona under the shadows of the old.
That was planned, right?
It wasn't planned. I didn't go on an incredible bender that got me to Barcelona, which, to be fair, if I was going to go on a bender, I'd definitely be going to and from Southend Airport, because with only 2 flights a day, they really do throw you through security quickly.
How is that airport still functioning? 2 flights a day? How is that a sustainable business model?
I don't know. I mean, certainly the terminal building is just, it's made of the same thing that a few soft play area sort of off Arterial Road factory buildings seem to be sort of built out of. It's very sort of it's very rudimentary, but I mean, you don't even have to take your stuff out your bags. You can keep your laptop and your liquids in, and it's just all. I think they just sort of try new stuff out at Southend Airport, and
I think they changed the liquids rule recently, didn't they?
It depends on what X-ray machines they've got, I believe.
Right.
It depends on.
So where's the other flight going? So Southend is serving Barcelona and where else only?
I think I think on season you get a little bit of Amsterdam. You might get a little bit of a cheeky bit of Cornwall sometimes, and I think you might get some Faro as well. But the only place in February it seems to be going is the old Barcelona. So I took advantage of that and can't recommend it enough. I was off the bloody flight in my house within half an hour. Would have been quicker, but I took a wrong turn.
That's brilliant. That is really good. And was a nice time had by all? Because I always felt like I always prefer Madrid to Barcelona, I would say.
Do you not think Madrid is a bit more industrial? Very much like Milan to Naples?
I just felt it was a bit more interesting. And I'm not really a beach guy, so I don't really care that Barcelona's got a beach. And I thought Barcelona was a bit pickpockety.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of... Is that not part of the course in Keir Starmer's Londonistan? Is that not weird? Are we not sort of used to that?
He can't take responsibility for Barcelona as well.
He's too busy fishing rakes out of his face.
Sorry for the buzzing, by the way, in the background. That's Visha Huntaraja keeps texting me.
Oh yeah, okay. What's he doing? Some personal admin.
Talking to me about TV series, but also inviting me for a beer with you and him tomorrow. But I don't want to come, I don't think.
You what? You're not going to do it? Why not?
I don't think so. No.
What? Scared?
Scared
to taste something louder, boy.
It's 50% that I'm scared, and 50% that I wasn't planning on being in town tomorrow.
It is hard to plan a putch with the person you're planning against. It really is difficult. But
I mean, what I would just say is, don't take the time to plan a putch. I mean, just tell me. just tell me. I'll accept it.
Just assume I'm constantly planning a putch.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight it. You could just tell me. Same with your admin.
He's ever so putchable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You'd say he's unputchable, but he's not.
You don't need to go to those lengths, is what I'm saying. Don't worry about it. What time are you going to the pub tomorrow?
Punch me. I want to feel your body. I don't know. It was supposed to be just a bit of lunch, but that's what we said last time, and we ended up having a few beers. So.
All right. Well, I'll keep a watching brief on it. I'm really flattered to be invited.
Second time of asking. For the second time of asking.
No, you didn't invite me the first time. Let's be absolutely clear. No, you didn't.
We did indeed invite you the first time.
Let me tell the listeners what happened. I was in the office.
Yeah.
You and Vish were going for a bit of lunch and a beer. You felt a bit awkward that you were doing it, and I was there. So you were like, you can come if you want.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as an invite.
We didn't know who was going to be in on at that time, so you were in, so you got the invite.
I'm just saying, use the technology. Send a message.
Say
we're going for a beer. He wants to come.
Throw a flag up the flagpole.
You've got a form for this. Like you said to me before, I said, I've never been invited to your house. You're invited any time. Come whenever you want.
That's not how it works. That's not an invitation, is it?
That's what I'm saying.
Push me. That's what you're saying. Push me to the edge. That's what you're saying.
What pub are you going to?
I don't know. Probably the one around the corner, owned by Madonna's ex-partner.
Oh, Law of the Land. On Conway
was
Street,
I just singing Madonna as well? Touch me, I want to feel your body. Is that a Madonna?
No.
I thought that was a beautiful bit of synergy there.
I'll check who that is.
Accidentally did.
That is.
Surely at some point Madonna
Samantha
asked
Fox.
someone to touch their body. Samantha Fox.
Not really in the same league as Madonna.
Both great pop stars, right? Did she ever
both
host
both iconoclasts?
Both iconoclasts. I mean, surely at some point Madonna has demanded someone touch her. Like that's kind of her later kind of like 1990s forward
kind
of stuff.
The whole 90s.
The whole 90s.
Anyone she met in the 90s, I would say, is the answer to that.
No, I wouldn't
good
go
on
that
her. More power to her.
More power to her.
So what did you get up to in Barcelona? Who were you with? The fam? You had the family?
Yeah, it was good.
Craig and Alex as well, or not?
Craig and Alex, yeah. Craig's too busy with Epstein files. He's downloaded the whole torrent and he's gone through.
I saw him doing a Control F search for Pepto-Bismol.
He's too busy. He's basically taken the whole weekend. He's downloaded the whole lot and he's just finding stuff that I would find interesting, but nobody else. Whereas everybody else is looking for references to, Richard Branson and Deepak Chopra, he's basically looking for references to the amount of Pepto-Bismol. And the thing that you sort of notice about a lot of the ones he's pulled out, he spent a lot of time. I mean, it's demented that he did all this on email anyway, but he spent a lot of time.
I think it's text as well, though, isn't it?
Is it text as well? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of men of a certain age and certain influence really did get away with no niceties on their emails at all. Just literally, somebody writes an email, and it's the one on Pepto-Bismol. He basically says, oh, my guts are killing me. I didn't even have any water. I didn't even drink the water. My guts are killing me. And the late less than great man writes Pepto-Bismol. Stop.
Yeah.
And that's the whole email.
There's no punctuation or capital letters.
No punctuation. And some of the punctuation, I don't know whether it's like an OCR thing, like it's been converted from one system to another, and these kind of errant dots. And I'd be furious if I'd died and people were looking at my emails and sort of saying, why can't this man write in full sentences?
I think
full stops.
I think if my mother saw a leak of all my communication after I die, I mean, I'm not suggesting that it would be of this nature, but the general flotsam and jetsam of my life in communication. It'd
be about the same amount as Pepto-Bismol with me, I would say. I'm always talking about
I expect so, yeah. But then like some kind of conversion file format error had meant there was no punctuation in it. She'd be so upset with me.
Devastated, absolutely.
Yeah, she would. My mum was a real stickler for that when I was growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I annoyingly like it. But so you didn't go with Craig and Al didn't tag along though, no? Is this a church and state thing? Never the twain shall meet.
I just don't think there's much for them in the Airbnb that I was staying in, because I'll tell you for why. It's much better than any other Airbnb that we. For example, one Airbnb cost around for a few days, cost approaching $1,000, and the one that, as discussed, I've rented out for the Moldova trip in a few weeks' time for 3 nights is I think £200 in total for 4 people. So it's it's a very different situation, and I don't think they'd get the most out of it, to be honest. But that said,
the last trip you did was to France, and you had that steak tartare, right?
Survived to tell the tale.
Yeah, some people. I had some replies. You want me to go through a couple? Because I shared the photo of the steak. Well, producer Bruno shared the photo of the steak tartare in France on the Luke and Pete show Twitter, and some of the feedback I saw was. Has he eaten this and spewed it up again? Yeah.
It does look pretty chewed.
Why does it look like tinned ravioli?
It looked a little bit like my grandma's famed egg and tomato sandwich sort of filling she would make that looked like sick.
Disappointing. Did you have any good food in Barcelona? Presumably there was some tapas.
I had a bit of tapas, yeah. Spent a lot of time... I Uber Eats a good old amount of tapas from a tapas place and sat down with this massive tray of what's that inky black fucking paella you get where the squid.
It's just squid ink paella, isn't it?
Squid ink paella in it. And a bit of squid on top and stuff. It's just a massive tray. It was absolutely massive. I only managed to eat half of it. We just I'd just go with sangria with prosecco or cava. Sangria with cava. That's a bit of me. That
sounds just a bit like an Aperol spritz.
Well, it doesn't have the bitterness, I suppose, of an Aperol spritz, does it?
Which is the sweeter, maybe just a sweeter.
Yeah.
Pete, do you remember when we were in? Do you remember we got on that jolly to Menorca, you and I, and we had that, and a chef came to the villa, and he cooked that big paella.
He did.
Did you have any of
that? Very bougie.
A couple of people were so hungover they couldn't have it. I had loads of it, and it was delicious. Did you have some?
I'll eat paella any day and any time of the day. I'd get up if somebody nuzzled into my neck at 3 a.m. and said, "Peter, it's paella time," I will be up before I've even woken up. My legs will be
like a cartoon dog, like asleep, following your nose, following the steam of the
I'll
food.
be floating down with my Willy Winky costume on down the stairs into the paella. Lovely.
Well, I would say, if you don't mind me saying, Peter, it's the hallmark of a confident traveller ordering Deliveroo in another country in another language.
Oh right, okay, yeah, but you just put it at your front door, don't you?
So you didn't meet the delivery driver. You weren't given that. You kind of ciao, ¿cómo estás, amigo? No.
No. Do you do that with Uber Eats usually? Do you do that with Deliveroo?
I have to go down and give them a code normally.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. I did do that faux pas where very old buildings have very old lifts in buildings. It was basically
the manual lift type thing.
It was basically next to the basilica, and it's one of those things where there's a
Sagrada
door.
Familia.
Yeah, there's a door, cool. And then there's two doors, and then you get in the lift, and the lift looks like it's needlessly wooden in these days. It's needlessly made of wood, and you got to close both doors, or else the lift doesn't work for anyone else in the apartment. And an old lady came down and told me off for not closing the door. But
what, in Spanish?
Yeah, completely in Spanish, and I said sorry completely in sorry. The word sorry said nothing else. Just sorry.
Were you with the partner you have access to and the daughter you have access to?
Yes.
And how was travelling with the toddler? Good.
It was fine. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 hours and not that much travel either side. It was all right. And, I got away with scratching a rental car. Yes.
You bastard! Because I got absolutely stung for that once.
Got away with it. Thank you. Do not. I can't remember who they were, but Avon or Nova or something. Some kind of EasyJet adjacent rental car company. I did a little scrape, and I gave it back, and they had a look, and they said, "Yep, good." I went, "Yep, good. See you later." Could not have got out there fast enough.
They've probably got your deposit on file though, so they'll probably listen to this and they'll tax you.
Well, it did that wonderful thing where they go, right, do you want to hold on 1,200 on your account, or do you want a 200 on your account? Because if you pay a little bit more, that's how you get we won't take that much. It's basically for people who don't have a lot of liquidity or a massive overdraft or whatever, and
a massive overdraft.
A massive, imposing overdraft.
Don't worry, everyone, I've got a massive overdraft.
And they sort of say, and so they go, you can if you don't want to pay the huge amount, you can pay a smaller amount, but it will cost you a little bit more. I say, all right, well, okay. And they go, well, have you got a Visa credit card to put this on? I was like, what? The Visa credit card? And I'm like, well, no, I don't have a Visa credit. I've got American Express and I've got a Visa debit card, and they won't let you use either to do the larger amount because as discussed, I've got a massive overdraft. They make you pay a bit more for the smaller amount on your account, and they just absolutely tricked me into paying a bit more.
In the US, you kind of get everything covered. You basically hire the car. It's fairly expensive.
They try and up because apparently the real value is you get your own insurance for a hire car, which is But they never check whether you scratch it or dent it or anything. In my experience, I've hired about 5 cars in the US, and this in New England. Probably 4 in New England and maybe 1 or 2 in the south.
And they never seem to check that shit. They just, it's all comprehensively covered by the look of it.
I don't know why they bother in Barcelona, because there aren't any lines on the floor, and it's all pretty much whoever gets to the line first. It seems to be the rules on those roads. But yeah,
bloody foreigners.
Bloody foreigners. They apparently is it Avis or Sixto, one of the big ones. They've started using this kind of like, you drive onto this platform and they flash a light, and it's basically like, you know, when people do like dent removal, they have like these mad kind of lights that are black and white, like whites with like black sort of silhouettes on them, so you can basically see the curve of the car, the natural curve of the car, which exposes any imperfections. And you drive, when you take the car, you drive onto this platform, it takes a big picture all around the car, and then it uses AI to figure out whether you've done anything to it by the end of the
that's clever
of the trip. It is clever. It's annoyingly strict and accurate, all that. So
I think I prefer the system which is a Saturday
turn up
lad
dark,
who's stoned out of his head, doesn't really want to get out of his chair, has a little look through like some proper stoned eyes and goes, yeah, that's fine, bro.
Turn up dark, like wait until 6:30 when it gets dark, and then turn up. Maybe throw a bit of water
on a Sunday, so there's no manager in.
Yeah, maybe throw a bit of water on the place that the problem happened, so the droplets disguise, which is what I did. And everything's hunky dory.
I had a situation once where we were with my son for the first time. We're trying. They make you put your own car seat in.
Right. Okay.
I guess for like insurance purposes or whatever, or just for safety reasons. I don't want to be. And we were taking, and it was a car seat style that we'd never seen before. And our son was only like 6 months old at the time. We were like, fucking, what are we going to do here? Right, we can't get this in. And the guy was like, I'm not allowed to help you put it in under like Massachusetts state law. I can't do it for you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, fine, whatever.
Is that like you can't pump your own gas in Massachusetts? It's like
no, it's not Massachusetts. I think that was in Rhode Island for a while. I don't know if that's still the case, but anyway. But the thing was, right, the geezer who said, "Oh, I'm not allowed to do this for you," was so stoned. It was like, as if I'm going to let you put a car seat in the car for my son. Like he was like, bro, listen, man, I can't. There's no way I can put this in for you. It's not allowed. Like it was some kind of loss to organise.
It's like, not allowed by
it's
my
not
body.
A loss, mate. I'd rather stay here for fucking 2 days straight trying to work this out and let you put it in. Eventually, my wife, the Wi-Fi I have access to, was able to work it out. But it was getting quite stressful because we've been travelling for a long old time, and obviously you need to get the boy when he's that age. You need to get him home. But anyway, yeah. All right, should we have a break?
Yes, please. We'll be back in a minute. We're back with the Luke and Pete Show. I'm Pete Donaldson. I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore. And we're doing the Luke and Pete Show. It's what we do every, Monday and Thursday. We have a good old time doing it as well.
You're the main host, and you always say you're joined by me. Like it's a rotational thing.
Well,
so you got annoyed that it was the Luke and Pete Show, not the Pete and Luke Show.
I didn't get annoyed. I think once again you pretended. You've thought of a funny idea, me being annoyed, and you've applied it to something it doesn't apply to.
Oi, I just think that the general public...
And relying on my forgetfulness not to challenge you.
I think the general public overestimate how angry I get, and they massively underestimate how angry you, Pete, and Jim get.
Right,
Vish never really gets angry, does he?
No. Well, I mean, I don't think I really get angry anymore, do I?
I think people think of you as just like a lovable eccentric,
right.
Of Marcus as the world's nicest guy, and Jim as really benign and kind of chill.
Yeah.
Where actually, and me as a complete. Whereas actually, there's like there's a middle ground between those things.
That's all right then, isn't it?
Well, I'm just saying, you do get annoyed sometimes.
But the variable is very much you being involved, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think so.
He seems like a lovable bloke when he's not doing shows with Luke.
No, I think it's like we all like Luke when he does everything for us, and then the moment he doesn't do anything for us, he gets fucking stick. That's what it is.
Oh right, okay.
That's what the Epstein leak of our emails would say.
I'm just a big bag of gasoline, and you are a loose flame. Waving
to be
it
fair,
around.
you haven't lost a plot that recently. You used to be a lot more volatile.
I never did lose it. Yeah, because I didn't understand that none of this matters. I used to think that it mattered. I used to think this was important, and now I'm like, yeah, I mean, we haven't died in 10 years, so it's fine, isn't it? Really, everything's fine.
That's true. Though you've probably come the closest to dying, I'd say.
Well, I mean, just general drowning and asthma attacks. Yeah, it's just kind of just.
How is the asthma, by the way? You're in a bit of a state the other day.
Still shit. Still a load of old shit.
Didn't stop you going on holiday
though. No better. Thought it might be better.
How was the altitude?
With the going up to that Gaudi, fuck me, like he just, if he had access to more like massive seashells, he'd put them on everything. I think he just looks like, I know he had he had basically 10 years where everyone thought he was brilliant, then everyone thought he was utter kit shit, and then he's a genius again. Now I still look at a lot of his stuff and go, he got away with a lot of shit, I would say. A real lot of mess.
The Sagrada Familia is actually going to be finished this year, isn't it?
Is it actually?
That's what they said.
For a bloody second. It's been, last time I went, about 15 years ago, it would look like pretty much the same state. But they are nearing the top, I suppose. There seems to be.
It's quite cool that they're still doing it.
It is quite cool, and it's funny because like one side is like black with car emissions, and the other side is quite clean. So hopefully they can give it a little clean before they leave. But
so it started construction in 1882.
Yeah,
and they're still stuck to it. Like there's no point if they go, well, we're just mothballing that.
It's too big
Gaudi
and
died
too
in
tall.
1926, apparently.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting that like they've stuck at a project, like a construction project, for 140 odd years.
Yeah, especially because like presumably a lot of the, they must have like iterated the kind of construction a little bit. I mean, the actual how it was built at the bottom must be very different to how it's being built at the top. Let's say different materials
and stuff like that.
Well, just certainly different kind of like, because presumably you'd have to sort of work to much higher standards of kind of public safety, because people are up there like mooching around. Look, the weirdest thing is how they manage to kind of balance cranes and sort of scaffolding on, because there's no like flat surfaces. It's all just kind of like plaster and kind of like, I don't know how they managed to secure so much extraneous kind of equipment and platforms and bits and bobs on a piece of architecture that is just so wonky and wobbly and weird looking. It just looks like one earthquake and it would just be down.
I read before that when he was asked by a journalist why the construction was taking so long, Gaudi said, my client is God and he's not in a hurry.
Yeah,
because it's a cathedral. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's fine, I suppose. But he was very busy. Some of his other stuff that's a bit more like formal, when he was sort of first starting out in Barcelona, you do sort of go, right, okay, I see where he's. But I just feel with the park, I can't remember, the Gaudi Park, fucking the big. It basically looks like the Teletubby kind of complex that he's made, or the Night Garden, and it's kind of like he's done that, and it must be quite annoying that you are building something, and certainly like that park Guella, where he has spent like a good best part of like 4 years building this entire kind of like set of houses and like a little castle in the middle, and yet there was a school as well in the middle of it, and I thought it was just like a playground, and I was like about to put my daughter into the playground, but it was actually a school. I've just put her into a school that isn't. I was like, oh no, there's all these kids playing, and I was like, oh no, wait, there's no parents.
She comes out speaking Catalan. I always really like when I've been walking around Barcelona. It's cool to see the occasional kind of Gaudi piece of architecture just pop up, because it's so distinctive between everything else around. Yeah. Like you're right to say it does look a bit like night garden style stuff, doesn't it? Was he like Picasso then? Did he start out being a lot more traditional and then just go mad?
I don't know. I mean, presumably you don't get that kind of license. You have to sort of, look I'm in a big mud palace out of, form to show you what it would look like. It's like, well, you're not making that. That probably isn't structurally sound. You'd have to have, it's like Picasso, you have to know the rules to break them. So presumably it was a very, some of his early work were probably a bit more chill before he started absolutely pissing about.
It's like you as a broadcaster, you've got to know the rules of the absolute no repeat guarantee to break the rules of the absolute no repeat guarantee.
Yeah. Although by the end of my 10-year run at Absolute Radio, I did almost.
You were the Gaudi of the airwaves
on no repeats between 9 and 5.
I listened to a bit of Absolute
10
Radio.
And 5, damn it.
You still haven't got it. I listened to a bit of Absolute Radio on the way back from golf earlier.
It's the biggest digital station now. It's the biggest. It's the biggest one, apparently.
Well, congratulations to them.
Half listened to somebody else's radio meeting.
They were doing a breaking of the absolute no repeat guarantee, and if you noticed a song that was repeated, you could call up and get 500 quid.
Right. I'd say, you know what?
You'd be costing them a fucking bomb.
Spend that 500 quid on bigger, on one of those massive kind of totems. Do you remember Ed Miliband had that big
the Edstone,
the big Edstone? I think we should have a big. If you're going to spend 500 quid and fuck up the no repeat guarantee, therefore losing some of its luster, why don't we have a big stone that just basically, lets people know precisely what the no repeat guarantee is all about?
Can you remember what was on the Edstone? Do you want me to tell you? There were six actions on the Edstone: a better plan, a better future.
Right, okay, yeah, go on.
Number 1 was a strong economic foundation.
Okay, yeah.
Number 2 was higher living
years
standards.
Before Brexit. And then the what?
Higher living standards for working families.
Right, okay.
Number 3 was an NHS with the time to care.
Right.
Number 4 was controls on immigration.
Yeah.
Number 5 was a country where the next generation can do better than the last.
Right.
And number 6 was homes to buy and action on rents.
So...
It's all very vague, isn't it?
It's all very vague, but they're always quite vague, aren't they? I mean, you could have just put a very specific one on in there, isn't it? Like, we're gonna knock down the Kennedy Center or something, something specific, just for someone to get there. The immigration thing is just something for the wolves, isn't it? Something for the press. But everything else is just quite generic stuff, isn't it? Stuff you should be doing, really. It's that Chris Rock stuff, isn't it?
Looking back on it, it's quite quaint because it was. Like I think it was like a year or so, whatever it was, before Brexit, right? Because the election was in May of 2015, wasn't it? The Brexit referendum was 2016, so it was a year or so before that. But it was an actual 8.5 foot, 2-ton slab of limestone. They actually went the whole hog on it and did it as a proper stone.
And that would have been back end of the thick of it as well. I don't think you can get away with those grand. It's very un-British. I would say it's too cartoonish and people are too smart for that sort of thing.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT how much 2 tons of limestone cost.
Well, but I guaranteed something will be like, oh well, we didn't use Yorkshire limestone for this fucking thing. So
they just smashed it up as soon as the election happened.
Like Jimmy Savile's headstone. It's in the same base. It's in the same place. Thrown out to sea.
Yeah, buried at sea. Guess how much ChatGPT is saying 2 tons of limestone costs?
I don't trust ChatGPT.
I don't either.
Last week it refused to believe that there was a wet wrestler called Catweasel when he was on television every week for about 20 years in England on World of Sport on ITV, and he refused to believe that it was. I was arguing with it. It's ridiculous. A very US focused product that does not get British references.
Well, guess how much anyway. ChatGPT saying what it's saying. There'll be people listening who'll know better, but for now, apparently. You can get 2 tons of limestone for 240 quid with delivery.
There you go. Presumably that's all chipped. Presumably that's all chipped into little blocks.
I guess it's not one big slab. No,
not one big slab.
But anyway, they destroyed the Edstone shortly after the election when he lost.
Who did that? What, with like a massive pneumatic drill? I guess. Just smashed it.
Because apparently some people were after it as like an artefact, like stick it in a museum or whatever. But apparently it was smashed to bits, and that's the end of that. I mean, it's kind of weird because that does seem, it's only 10 years ago, but that does seem like a very, very different time.
Yeah, definitely. Do you remember Nick Clegg and the leader of the Tories in a coalition?
David Cameron.
Well, I can't remember either of those fucking names.
David Cameron. Yeah.
Do you remember, like, they had that kind of they were caught on a hot mic, and Clegg said, if you keep doing this, I'm going to find it very hard to disagree with you. If you keep on being so likable, if you keep on being so agreeable with things I like, and that was kind of the beginning of the end, wasn't it?
Have you seen what? By the way, have you seen? Nick Clegg said some interesting stuff about that coalition. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was definitely a mistake to sit next to the Tories on the benches in the Commons and that kind of shit." But have you seen what Nick Clegg looks like now?
No, does he look different?
He looks really. I don't want to be rude, but he looks really old now.
Right. Okay.
There was one particular photo of him, which was like I honestly didn't even recognise him. I'll try and dig it out for you, but he looked totally different to what you remember. I mean, it was crazy. I've got it here. Now? I'll send it to you now. He looks basically like an old, like eccentric, pisshead aristocrat.
Well,
right, just put in the WhatsApp chat. Have a look. He looks like Rolly Burke.
Oh yeah. It's the tan suit and the Obama. It's the tan suit and the V-neck sweater and he looks really horsey, doesn't he?
Making Zuckerberg's excuses for him for like 5 years has really aged him.
Tied him out.
Like just going endlessly on fucking media appearances saying that Facebook's actually great and it's got brilliant.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu explain this so he can have a conversation with him.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I always loved that Zuckerberg meme when the Metaverse came around and it was later found out that like there was only 50 people in the Metaverse and like 30 of them worked for Facebook anyway.
Yeah, it's dead now. It's absolutely dead. I think they've even VR. I think Facebook have, even though they put out some pretty interesting products, they've absolutely sacked it off now. It was supposed to be the future, guys. It's supposed to be the future.
There was a brilliant takeoff of that. You know, Zuckerberg did that really like these kind of tech bros like billionaires are so out of touch with like actual real life that they do stuff and they think it's good and it's actually horrible and sinister and weird and no one's got the bollocks to tell them, so it eventually sees the light of day. And there was that video that Zuckerberg did presenting the Metaverse to people, and it's really creepy. It's like him walking around his house or whatever just with no shoes on, and it was someone did like a Charlie Brooker style, like Black Mirror style like take off of it, where it's like a still of it with Zuckerberg looking at the camera, and it said underneath there, and don't forget, if you die in the Metaverse, you die in real life. It was like, honestly, it looked like, and the people in the Metaverse looked like the Wii's from the menu from the Nintendo Wii.
Well, that's very Nintendo kind of style of presentation. Whenever they present something, they sort of present it as real family entertainment, even though you can literally play Yakuza on it and stuff. And grab all the quite.
Why did the Metaverse die then?
I just think they didn't get it out quickly enough. Tech moved on. AI sort of took over the investment, I think, and so I think Facebook just sort of panicked and just sort of threw everything threw Meta into the AI world more than anything else. So.
But because the thing is that Second Life was a thing that started like 20 odd years ago, and that was like a proper thing like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. But that's what big companies do.
Is that still going?
They just take the idea. Yeah, they will. It will be. They just take the ideas that have been come up through, real people, pissing about and having a bit of fun, and they just kind of they co-opt it, steal it, and repackage it and sell it to us again. Really, bearing in mind we, in the same way that they've sold buses and taxis and stuff to us 1 million times over. Yeah,
no, that's a good point, Pete. That's an excellent observation, mate.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Good to have you on good form.
Thanks, mate. We'll be back on Thursday with presumably more good form.
I think we've got another couple of batteries. We've got some batteries coming finally. So, something to look forward to. Get a battery robot out of his slumber.
I don't think that was the battery robot. I think that was the Barry White of batteries. Barry's White. It was Battery's White, the battery boy. The battery boy. Yes, we'll be back on Thursday. Get your emails in, for crying out loud. Hello at lukeandpeteshow.com. If you've got anything to say about any of the matters discussed, if you are horrified or aroused by any of that, do let us know. And you can also get in touch via the YouTube comments as well. They're easier for me to get hold of because I don't know the login for the emails. So that's a positive. And we'll speak to you very soon. Fare thee well.
See you later.